The truth about the mysterious devil's footprints. Today, we learn the truth about the devil's mysterious footprints, which has shocked the entire world. But if you're new to this channel, welcome to Facts Inside. If you want more videos like this one, visit the page for only Facts Inside. Make sure to subscribe our channel and give a like. It was on the night of February the 8th, 1855, that heavy snowfall covered the southern British countries of Devon and Dorset. The Devil's Footprints, also known as the Devil's Hoof Prints, were an extraordinary trail of imprints in the snow in southwest England that materialized over the course of the night of 8 to 9 February 1855. The prints looked as though they had been created by cloven hooves, but were in all respect utterly inexplicable. The devil footprints were 8 to 16 inches apart and spread over the distance between 40 and 100 miles. While some were characterized as being 4 inches long, the majority were actually only an inch and a half or 2 inches long. Reports of the occurrence came from all throughout Devon. However, they were particularly concentrated in the east and south of the state along the Exe estuary. But reports of these satanic footprints were made as far away as Dorset, the following county to the east. The tracks were mainly straight and moved effortlessly over haystacks, homes, and rivers, without any object appearing to face whatever thing was in charge. According to other stories, the footprints even showed up on roofs and were headed in the direction of the Lode of Exeter's county estate. Were these the devil's footprints? The Times article of 16 February 1855 spoke of a vast number of foot tracks of a most strange and mysterious description. The superstitious go so far as believe that they were the marks of Satan himself. As a result of the mark's striking resemblance to the devil's alleged cloven hooves, many people immediately blamed the Prince of Darkness for the occurrence. This was made even more menacing by the numerous marks leading to and from doorsteps and the circling homes and churches, which led to rampant conjecture that he was searching the countryside for sinners. Did Satan himself visit the English county of Devon one cold night in 1855? The discovery of satanic footprints in Devon is not the first instance of this phenomena. A comparable incident was reported in Scotland 15 years earlier. Similar to Devon, the footprints were visible in the snow and they were said to cover a sizable amount of ground. However, it was evident from the news that they were thought they originated from an unidentified animal rather than being Satan's doing. The Devil's Hoof Prints, 4 legs or 2. The devil's footprint's base was not of a 4-legged animal, despite the claim that its cloven foot shape resembled those of a donkey. It was thought they belonged to a bipedal or a 2-legged creature. The devil's hoof prints were similar to those of a donkey in the way they were roughly 3 inches broad and 4 inches long. The steps were single file and approximately 8 to 16 inches apart, but they were comparably modest. In the devil's footsteps, the spots where the devil's footprints were discovered and where they weren't were among its most peculiar features. There were reports of them hopping from one spot to another or skipping over terrain. People standing on rooftops on each side of River Exe, as well as some lone footprints in the field. According to a farmer, the devil footprints once stopped on one side of the haystack before starting up again on the other. 100 miles. The Exe estuary region of Devon is where the devil's hoof prints were mostly discovered. However, some accounts also mention Dorset. The devil's footprints' precise path is unknown, from Exeter in the north to Torquay, 25 miles south, and then 12 miles west of that to Totnes, not necessarily in that order, if all reports are to be believed. Although it traveled a total of 40 miles, it meandered and wandered far within the region. There were further reports of such footprints in Munich and at the Dresden Frauenkirche, both in Germany. There was one from as far away as Kerguelen Islands in the southern Indian Ocean, yet another from Belgium in 1945 at the Chateau de Morveau. Another instance of these footprints was recorded in Poland in 1855, and more recent reports of them in Devon and Scotland have probably come from pranksters playing on the lore surrounding the devil footprints case. The new Devon footprints, which first surfaced in 2009, differed dramatically from those in myth and folklore, appearing in a single backyard. They were examined by researchers from the Center for Fortean Zoology. Although thousands of people worldwide hold paranormal beliefs, thus far every single thing we have investigated had a natural explanation. These will, I am certain. Do I firmly believe that the devil emerges from the depth of hell to prowl the North Devon gardens? Obviously not. According to Jonathan Downs of the Center for Fortean Zoology, there are many theories explaining the initial 1855 incident, but none are satisfactory. For instance, the author Geoffrey Household hypothesis that a balloon could be to blame for the experimental craft unintentionally escaping its moorings at the neighboring Devonport dockyard. The household claims that the balloon's mooring ropes had shackles on the ends that impacted onto the ground, and that the military kept quiet about the incident when it became clear that property damage had been done across a significant area. Others, though, contend that nature was to blame because the episode piqued naturalist interest. Many animals were probably looking for food because it was unreasonably chilly on February the 8th and into February the 9th morning. Rats, swans, otters, and raccoons have all been named as potential offenders. The English paleontologist, comparative anatomist, and biologist Sir Richard Owen claimed that badgers were to blame in a letter sent just 1 month after the tragedy. According to Owen, the badger is almost the only plantigrade quadruped in Britain, and it has a much larger footprint than it is typically. The footprints remained unexplained to this day, but cooler heads have offered more reasonable explanations. Here are a few of the theories. It was a kangaroo. Perhaps, people reasoned, a kangaroo had escaped from a nearby private zoo. It would explain the bipedal tracks, and kangaroo footprints do make an odd shape. It was a badger. Badgers also make bipedal tracks, and it seems like a much more plausible explanation than an escaped kangaroo. However, it is doubtful that a badger could have traveled that far in one night. It was a weather balloon. The improbable tracks could have been made by a stray weather balloon or hot air balloon dragging an anchor. This theory helps explain the tracks on rooftops and over the tall green walls, but no lost balloon was ever reported at that time. People also argued that a balloon dragging an impellant would almost certainly have gotten tangled up in a tree at some point, leaving some evidence of its journey. It was the rain. The way the rain hit the snow and froze could have made the marks, some people theorized, but their uniform linear pattern makes the theory seem a bit far-fetched. It was hopping mice. A few animals, including a wooden mouse native to the area, are known to hop. This can leave a hoof-type print because of how the animals hold their feet together while hopping, but it's unlikely that a mouse would sustain a hopping motion for very long, so the fact that footprints stretched for miles make this a suspect theory. The mystery was reignited in 2009 when a woman in North Devon discovered footprints similar to the 1855 marks in her garden. The 5-inch long prints appear to have made by something with 2 hooves and a stride length of between 11 to 17 inches. There was no more investigations into this assertion, and Musgrave would later admit that he had made it up to allay his parishioners' concerns that footprints were the work of Satan. The claims were never taken seriously by most people. The real mystery was how the tracks had actually come to be. While mice, badgers, and even kangaroos may be one suggestion, they seem unlikely to be a sole explanation, and the mystery of the devil's footprints, therefore, remains unsolved. Today, we learned the mysterious facts about the devil footprints. If you like it, do share with us in the comment section below. We would love your responses, and make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, Facts Insight. And don't forget to press the bell icon on your way out.